I'm Lisa, the artist behind Lachri Fine Art. Today is Tuesday, so I'm here to critique one of your original paintings or drawings. If you have an original painting or drawing that you would like to submit for critique, head over to my website, lachri.com/critiques. Link is below in the video description, and you can submit your work there. Today we are taking a look at this colored pencil portrait done by artist Corey Simpson. Corey has a channel here on YouTube, so you definitely want to check that out. And he's also got a time-lapse video of this piece in progress, which is also linked in the video description. This is a 9x12 piece in Prismacolor, and I'm just so impressed, Corey, that you didn't use craft paint. Corey, when you submitted this, you knew I was going to comment about that, right? Moving along, because no one else knows what I'm talking about. This piece, obviously, we all know who this is. It is crazy accurate, very well done. The shading, your contrast, you are doing such a good job with your portraits. And the cool thing is, I am friends with Corey on Facebook, and so I've been following his stuff for a while and just watching him progress. He already started off amazing, and just in a few months how much he's progressed. It's just amazing. It's been a lot of fun for me to watch. You've got your lights and your darks where they should go. Everything's just very well done. And the main thing with this, it is drawn accurately. Having an accurate drawing and a solid foundation is such a big deal, and it's something that I see a lot of artists missing out on. They'll spend so much time shading and coloring things, but really that's not what's the most important thing. You really want to make sure that you've got it drawn right in the first place. If you're drawing something, especially portraits, if it's drawn wrong in the first place, you're just setting yourself up for a frustrating time working on the piece, because you're constantly going to be trying to adjust and fix the drawing that was drawn wrong. Get the drawing done right in the first place, and everything will be much easier. So moving on to things that we can adjust. Now, you've sent in your reference photo, so I didn't adjust everything myself because we can compare these pretty easily and see what I'm talking about here. So the first thing, I would actually darken up the skin tones a lot more than what you've got. Your highlights and your shadows, they're in the right location, but I would spend more time layering even more and darken everything up. I think your whites are a bit too white on her face. I would tone everything down, not just the whites, but the shadows too. Your values are there, your lights and your darks, I would just bring them all down some. So your dark's darker and your light's a little darker. For her clothing, I know that that is white, but leaving that so white, it kind of draws your attention there a little bit more than you really want it to. So with the white, I would actually change that to more of a gray, because the black in the background would be reflecting on that. So that would darken up quite a bit, and then save white for smaller highlighted areas on her outfit. Taking a look at her ears, both of the ears are way too light. It's drawing attention because you're up against black. The contrast between the light that you've got on the ears and the right up against the black, and having it so well defined, it kind of draws your attention away from her face and right up to her ears, which is kind of a weird area. You don't want to draw attention to people's ears in most cases. So I would definitely shadow those, darken those up, and the upper half even darker than the bottom half. Create more shadow there. And the ear on the right, her left, I would blur that out a little bit so it's not such a harsh contrast between the ear and the black. Taking a look at her eyes, the main thing here, the whites of her eyes are just too white. Again, you want to leave your whites very sparingly, and one of the things that people do a lot when they're doing eyes is that they'll leave the whites of the eyes white, because that's white, so obviously you're just going to shade that white. Darken that up quite a bit. Use grays and pinks or reds, get some other tones in there to tone that down. Very little in any painting is going to be white, so definitely, even in the eyes, you're just going to have highlights be white, so tone that down too. On the bridge of her nose, comparing that with your reference photo, it looks like that needs to come in, just thin out a little bit. It's a little bit too thick there, so just pull your shadows in further. And then the whole areas, especially around the eyes, the upper eyes, or the area between her eyebrows and her upper lid, that whole area should be quite a bit darker than what you've got now. And really, for all of the shading around her face, I would add another color in with what you're mixing here. Your darks, darken them up quite a bit more. Your contrast between your lights and your darks are good, but like I said, just pull everything down a bit. For the dark areas, when you're darkening the face, I would use a color that you haven't used yet, something a little bit darker, just to pull those values down some. For her lips, her upper lip and her lower lip are pretty much the same color, and you are generally going to want your upper lip, it's angled down, so upper lips on most people are going to be darker than the bottom lip. The bottom lip is catching the light, so you could use more highlights on the bottom lip and then darken up the upper lip some. The other thing is the color that you're using on her mouth, that's the only place in the entire piece that you've used that color. In most paintings, you don't really want one color only in one area of the painting. So here on her, I would take the color that you've used on her lips and pull some of that into her cheeks, maybe into the eyes, like the whites of the eyes where we need more color in there. pull some of that in there, especially the inner corners, to create more depth there. But use that color in other areas of the painting. If it's just in that one location, it zooms, you kind of focus in there a little bit more than you really want to. So spread that out a little bit. Corey, you did a super amazing job on this. The things that I'm pointing out are getting really, really nitpicky because you didn't leave a whole lot of obvious areas for me to critique. Don't forget, if you guys want to check out the video for this or his channel, he has lots and lots of speed drawings and paintings, lots of Hunger Games stuff. You can check that all out on his channel here on YouTube. That link is below in the video description. If you have a painting or drawing that you would like to submit for critique, head over to my website, lachri.com/critiques. Link is below in the video description, and you can submit your work there. If you're new to my channel, I have new video critiques every Tuesday where I'm critiquing your original paintings or drawings, my own speed paintings, drawings, and tutorials every Wednesday, and vlogs each weekend. So make sure you subscribe, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, all those social media site links are below in the video description. You can keep up with news, my newest work, and see real-time clips of whatever it is I'm currently working on. I'll see you guys tomorrow.